Sunburst Youth Academy application tutorial. The intent of this video is to provide a guide towards completing the application accurately to ease the Sunburst Youth Academy enrollment process. Any additional questions should be directed to the admissions department at 877-463-1921. This video is meant to assist with completing Sunburst Youth Academy's application. It is very important that you come to your scheduled interview prepared with a completed application, dressed professionally, and motivated to enroll into the Academy. While this video is meant to assist you, it is crucial that you take the time to read not only the instructions, but every page of the application. Do not just sign your name. You should have an understanding of what every page is requesting. The applicant and guardian information sheet. It is very important that you provide us with the most up-to-date contact information for yourself, your parents, and your emergency contacts. It is your responsibility to ensure that we are able to keep in contact with you. Please keep in mind that your emergency contacts are in addition to your parents and/or guardian. The personal application letter. This is one of the most important pages of your application. This is where you will explain to the admissions committee why you want to be a Sunburst Youth Academy cadet, why you deserve this opportunity, and your level of motivation to make a positive change in your life. Every person on the admissions committee reviews your personal letter. Make sure you take the time to express who you are and why you should be accepted into Sunburst Youth Academy. The recommendation letter. This letter of recommendation should be completed by someone within your school, such as a teacher, a principal, or a counselor. Ensure that you explain Sunburst Youth Academy to them if they are unaware of the program. Additionally, they are assisting you by completing this form. Make sure that you thank them for their time and their support. Mentor program explanation. The explanation page clarifies your responsibility as a mentee and the qualifications of a mentor. Please ensure that you read this carefully so you understand the expectations. If you are still looking for a mentor, please still sign this form along with having your parents and guardians sign it too. The power of attorney. This form is to be signed by your parents or guardian in front of a notary. Your parents must provide the notary with a valid form of identification, and this line must be completed. Additionally, the bottom half of this page is to be completed only by the notary. They must stamp this page with their official seal. The medical history page. It is very important that you complete this page truthfully and in its entirety. If you answer yes to questions 9, 10, or 11, you must obtain a doctor's clearance or release stating that you are emotionally and physically capable of completing the program. It is very important that you accurately disclose your current and past health. You must circle any condition that relate to you and include the year along with a brief description of your condition. For example, you need to explain if this is a current condition, an occasional condition, or no longer affected by this condition. The physician must review this page once you have completed it. They must sign this form along with the sports physical. The bottom half of this page explains to your parents their responsibility while you are a resident at Sunburst. They must carefully read and sign an agreement. The sports physical page needs to be completed by you and your physician. Please ensure that the physician's office places their official office stamp on the top right corner. All medications must be disclosed, and you, the applicant, must check yes or no for every item on the bottom half of this page. If any of these apply to you, there is a location on page 2 of the sports physical for you to provide further information. On the second page of the sports physical, the top right corner is the area for you to explain any condition which you select yes to on page 1. You must include the year and whether the condition is still present or not. The middle section of this page, you will find immunizations required to be accepted into the academy. The physician must annotate the date and initial next to each immunization. The immunizations are not optional. They are required and follow the Center of Disease Control guidelines. The bottom half of this page, the physician must provide a summary of health, along with their signature and date. Behavioral Health Questionnaire. Use this questionnaire to determine if you need to provide behavioral health documentation for our counseling department to review. If you answer yes to any of these questions, you will be required to obtain a psychological evaluation. Instructions are on the following page in the application. The release of liability. This form must be signed by your parent and/or guardian. Please read carefully and ensure all blanks are filled in and the bottom half of this page is signed. The educational letter. This form should be given to your school counselor. It is your responsibility to ensure that they provide you with a copy of all requested documents. You must make 2 copies of your educational record. The first copy will go with your completed application, and the second copy you will put into an envelope that states education with your last name and then your first name. If you have an IEP, you must disclose this and provide a copy of your most current IEP or triennial report. The student education information pages. These education pages should be completed to the best of your ability. I recommend asking your counselor to review these forms for accuracy once you have completed them. Do not withdraw from your school until you have been officially accepted and given guidance to do so. On page 2 of the student education, you must disclose if you currently have had an IEP or if you have had an IEP in the past. A current copy must be brought with you to the interview. Ask your school counselor if you are unsure. The legal page. If you answered yes to this question, you must provide legal supporting documentation, such as a court disposition, a copy of your police report from the court, a letter from your probation officer and/or school officer clarifying the charges and outcome. It is crucial that you indicate any and all charges, including the agency and the outcome. Any upcoming court dates must be disclosed. You will not be authorized to leave Sunburst during the residential phase, so failure to disclose any upcoming court dates may result in a failure to appear within the court. If you are on probation, formal or informal, the probation officer must review this page and provide their contact information and sign there. In order to provide a safe environment for you, other cadets, and staff, we need to know if you have a restraining order against you and/or protecting you. The mentor application. Every applicant must turn in a mentor application in order to be accepted into Sunburst Youth Academy. We understand that this may take time, so this is the only item in the application that we will grant an extension on. It is your responsibility to find a mentor who qualifies and would be able to commit to the responsibilities and time obligations. You must direct the prospective mentor to confidentially fax their application to Sunburst or place it in a sealed envelope for you to turn in with your application. If they have any questions that you are unable to answer, inform them to call the number on this application to speak with Sergeant Wright. The following is a checklist of supporting documents that are required in addition to the application. Please do not turn in originals. We will need a copy of your birth certificate, your California ID, or receipt from the DMV. Your student ID is not sufficient. We'll also need a copy of your health insurance card, your immunization record updated with all of your required immunizations, medical clearance if you answered yes to questions 9 through 11 on page 12, or if you have any medical condition which may prohibit you from being 100% capable of completing the program. A copy of a psychological evaluation if you answered yes to page 15. A copy of your school transcripts. They do not need to be originals at this time. A copy is sufficient. Your IEP triennial report and/or psychoeducational report if this applies to you. Legal supporting documentation if you answered yes to question 1 on page 20. And also, if applicable, a copy of your custody documents. It is very important that you come prepared to your interview with a completed application. These are 2 examples of actual applications that were turned in. We do not expect them to be perfect, however, we expect you to try. If you have additional questions regarding the completion of this application, please contact the appropriate staff member. If your question is regarding admissions or the application, please contact Sergeant Johnson. If your question is regarding counseling and/or behavioral health, please contact Ms. M. And if your question is regarding medical, to include immunizations, the sports physical, and/or any possible doctor clearances, please contact Specialist Vargas.